need to have this door closed here.
That's what, yeah,
And,
Lamar will come out, so.
One of the things that might be helpful, though, Doug has copies of the,
Nice to meet you. Hello, very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, let me give you that.
This, by the way, is the cousin. This is the cousin of Jesse who was shot.
Oh, Jessica yesterday? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
You don't need to be sorry, big brother. Who should be sorry isn't here saying sorry. Can't take a sorry back from the baby's life.
Yeah.
But do you have a word to say to the people about this incident and what has happened so far?
Well, no, what happened yesterday is under investigation. And I think you all probably know that when there's an investigation about crime, or investigation of any kind of police shooting, that we don't talk about the facts of it. We can't talk about the facts of it because it's still being investigated. There's a lot of facts that need to be gathered. So, no, I won't be giving any statements about what happened yesterday.
That's all that I want to know, big brother.
Well, you're standing in front of somebody that just lost their cousin. Is there anything that you would say to him publicly about his loss
All
and
that
his
I,
loss
all
of
that
his
I want to
family?
know, big brother, is why you shot my cousin. Give me one good reason why you shot my cousin. I will gladly put all of this off. You can have it all. You can have everything. You can have the money. You can have the power. You can have anything that you want. I just want you to give me one reason why you shot her. Give me one good reason other than she was in a stolen car. There's plenty of other people in stolen cars. You ain't shooting them. Let's just put it this way. What if my cousin happened to not be Hispanic? What if my cousin happened to be a different race? Would you have shot them? Your officer got injured. My cousin is dead. Once again, big brother, excuse me, but you ain't taking that from me.
So this is.
Are you referring
Yes,
to me
sir,
as
I
big
am
brother?
gladly talking to you. Yes, sir, and excuse my language. That's
Okay.
just the
No,
word that I
that's okay.
reserve to my people, you know.
Well, listen, if you're patient, if you wait, we'll do the investigation.
How much longer do you want me to wait?
It could take several weeks.
Let's all
It can
speak.
take
Let's
several
speak.
weeks.
Let's
Yes,
speak
ma'am, but
one
did
at a
it take
time.
several weeks before they shot my cousin? No, they didn't.
One of the things, what you're hearing is a lot of frustration.
Sure.
It's hard to tell someone who just lost a loved one to be patient, especially when we know that we have a judgment that you know how it even went down was just wrong. So it's hard to say just be patient. As a matter of fact, you're dealing with a community that has been dealing with these shootings over and over again, and now
Patient for
you're
it.
saying being patient, but we want to know, well, how transparent is this office going to be? Because when we've been patient and we waited before in the past, we've gotten a lot of smoke screen until all the way to the end, it's been no charges. Now, we don't know what the facts of this case are, certainly, but we certainly know that there is a preponderance of innocence that goes to the officers right off the bat. Whereas if I had shot someone, my preponderance would be guilty until I prove myself innocent.
Yeah.
So there's a problem with that, and we're here today, and unfortunately, Mr. Morrissey's not here, and we're glad that you came out to answer questions. And please don't patronize us with, we'll just gotta wait because we can't say anything. I understand your position, but we want to know just how transparent is this office going to be. And we also want to know, when it comes down to the other ladies who are being held, there are some things you can tell. What are they being charged with? You can tell us that because that's public. It's supposed to be public.
All that I want to tell you,
Once
sir,
the charge is done.
all that I want.
Let him answer the question.
And as Mr. Jackson started saying, my name is Lamar Sims. And the question of transparency is one that we can talk about. As many of you know, we have a protocol in these kinds of investigations, and we are not necessarily unique any longer, but we are one of the few jurisdictions that upon the close of the investigation makes our file open to anybody who wishes to come in and see it. And that is something that we have done, that we've been doing for the last 30 years now, to enhance transparency, because we understand how troublesome these issues are, how deeply traumatizing they can be for the community. In any criminal investigation, it is inappropriate for an agency to talk about facts or the processes during the investigation. So what we can do is move as quickly as we can, gathering the facts and circumstances, the evidence, making a determination, and then regardless of determination, making the investigation public.
So let's just ask one clear one. I'm gonna let some other folks ask questions. Have they or have they not already been cleared? That is what has been said. We've heard that in our community. Have the officers already been cleared or not?
No, that's what we're saying.
Okay,
The case is
but we
being
want to hear it
investigated.
straight from your office.
No.
Have they been cleared
We
already?
spent all day yesterday interviewing the people that were in the car with your cousin. interviewing police officers, gathering facts. We're still waiting for some additional information. So no, nobody has been cleared, nobody's been charged,
Follow-up question
nobody
on
is
that.
being held. I don't know what that information was that you had earlier, but nobody is being
The other people
held that
were in
I'm.
the car? They've
To
been
my
released,
knowledge,
they've all been
I
released?
think they were all released. I have no knowledge of anybody being held.
They're all released at this point?
Yeah.
And not charged with anything?
No.
Sir?
I think at this point, I'd rather not do that right now.
Why is
Let me
that?
address one other thing that was, you asked about, that was transparency. The protocol that Mr. Sims talked about is detailed in that, the document that we gave you. This has been true for years. We'll investigate, the police department will investigate the police-involved shooting.
And nothing will be done.
And then in the end, we have all of that file available for the public to look at. So some of you may have in the past come down and looked at a shooting or two that we've done, but I know very few people have. You might have, sir. But the same thing will occur in this case. If we don't file charges, those documents, the investigation, the interviews will all be available for people to come look at, and then you can decide, did we make the right decision or not?
I'm glad you point out to that, because we were here. And I was talking to Lamar many times. We've had many
Tell me your name.
situations. Reverend Patrick Dimmer.
Yeah, I think I've met you before too, sir.
I think so. I think we have. But we were here, and we had conversations even around Marvin Booker case.
Right.
And we heard the same thing, that if there's something wrong, we will file charges. Nothing was ever filed, and nevertheless, not only did the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals absolutely disagree with Mitch Morrissey in the DA's office, but a federal judge and a federal jury awarded
Yep.
$4 million because they looked at that situation just like we looked at it from the Alliance, and we felt very much so that something wrong had been done. Now, you guys always will hide under the idea, but we can't prove this in court. But see, the problem is, you've still got to deal with the court of public opinion. And the court of public opinion, the way we see things, is that you're not giving us information, and that because of the rules of engagement and everything that's in this, it allows you to hide. And I'm not trying to say that in a negative sense, but it allows you not to be transparent. That's what happens. And so that's why you get the frustration. And let's be honest, we all watch TV, we all very sensitive to what is happening all over this nation. From New York to Ferguson, Missouri, to Ohio, to Florida, and every time it comes back against the people and for those who have been empowered to carry guns, and those who are officials of the government against the people. And therefore, you cannot help but understand the people are suspicious. I mean, nobody's always right, while the other side is always wrong. And if I was to understand what I see nationally, and no disrespect, but what has come out of this office with Mitch Morrissey, you have never found any officers guilty of anything.
Police shooting.
And is that true or false? Is that true or false? Because that's a good point that he made.
Let's
How many
slow down.
officers have been indicted from this
Let's slow
office?
down.
No.
No.
We're not gonna slow down.
We can't slow down.
I would like you to answer the question as to and address his point.
Give him a chance.
How many officers have been indicted under this in
For
this
shooting.
office for a
Zero.
shooting?
For murder.
It's a simple question.
Zero.
The last
It's
time that an
zero.
officer was charged. not
Let him
indicted.
answer.
Last time an officer was charged for a shooting by our office was 1992.
Wow. Shame.
That's a shame.
Now,
Can I ask you one
May
question?
I please speak? Because there are a number of people here. I tried to answer that question.
Thank you for answering the question.
DA's accomplices.
The difficulty that we have, particularly in a forum like this, is we can't talk about an open investigation. This is not a forum for us to talk about the problems of the nation. We understand the concerns that people have. We do our best to listen,
Your best is shit.
It's
and
bullshit.
it becomes difficult
You
when there are
guys control
implications,
that. Let's
when
get
there is
something done.
scatology, and
Oh,
there
it is
is
getting
unpleasant
Let's get something done.
conversation.
Oh, we trying to be controlled. We trying real hard.
Why is Sharod Kindell medical care is not being met to?
So
Lamar,
we
here
talk
is
about-
the issue that we have.
How about you let that man talk? His cousin died. You got something to say?
Here is the issue that we have. The issue of you all investigating yourselves. That's the issue. And when we start talking about transparency,
you investigating
the
yourself?
community has no opportunity to know exactly what your results are until you give them to us down the road. There's no input from any independent organization. We have an independent monitor, but there's nothing independent about the independent monitor at all in terms of giving information back to the community. So the problem we have, and it works this way all the time. You investigate yourselves. You tell us that what we saw we didn't see. What happened really did happen. And we've got to go now with your investigation as sort of being carte blanche in terms of anything else we could say. So that's the problem for us, is that we don't like the idea that you investigate yourself and you always come up since 1992. That's about 20 plus years where we have heard these decisions over and over and over again. That's frustrating. And we're doing our best to maintain some decorum here, but these people are frustrated. And we're not going to just come today and you won't see it. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back until Mitch Morrissey stands out here and tells us exactly what's going on. Just as he stood in our churches and asked for our votes. Just as he stood in our churches and made us promises that this office would function differently with him in office. It hasn't, Lamar. I respect you. I respect the work that you all are doing, but you're hiding behind the law. There is no moral turpitude coming from this office. You can't tell me that we've gone now to shooting girls. And you guys are going to, again, bring to us that there was nothing wrong with it.
How about you look the family in the face and give them condolences? Tell me why you killed my family. How about saying that?
What does Jesse's cousin have to say? What do you have to
All
say?
that I want, like I told them, all that I want to know is what was his reason behind shooting my cousin?
Investigate agencies.
When, like I said outside, man,
If you look
what
at
does a
that,
195-pound man have on a 90-pound woman?
The cousin is speaking
Give him some
right now.
respect.
Can we honor-
Give him some respect. His family just died. Give him some respect.
Hold on,
Shut
man.
up, shut your mouth.
Let's have some order. Let's have order.
I see all these people out here, you know, all these people out here are trying to help me. We'll pay for your funeral. We got what we got to do. What are you doing for me? You're telling me you can't give me you're telling me you can't tell me what happened to my cousin? You're telling me you can't tell me what's going to happen to your officer? I understand. I'm not the smartest man alive, but if I understand, he should be charged by murder for now.
Where's the video?
Where's the video? If I understand, I talked to one of the witnesses last night. When they came outside with the cell phone trying to videotape it, the cop told him, "Don't you dare draw." He drew his weapon at somebody else that was trying to record.
They have the right. That's illegal. They have the right.
They have the right to video.
Where's the body camera video?
Yes, exactly. Where's the body? Where's the video of when he dragged my cousin out of the car, flipped her over, and searched her after she was dead? I want to see that video. I want to see the reason why he shot my cousin. When he can tell me that in my face, I will gladly respect him.
Why don't we have the names of the officers?
Yes, sir.
Also,
Why do you
that's-
have Jessica
that's
Hernandez in your
that's
mouth,
not
but I
part
don't
of the
have an
investigation.
officer's
See,
name?
these are questions that are coming out right now that really are public
They can answer 'em.
information. So,
They can
like,
answer 'em right
who are
now.
the officers who shot their
That's a
guns?
determination made by the Denver Police Department as to when they will release it.
So we have to talk to the Denver Police Department about
But
that.
and that
You don't
goes-
know that yet.
That goes into, oh, I know they should. Of course I do.
But you're not at
But-
liberty to say
It's a
that.
police department
You know,
investigation right now.
and what, to a
Do
certain
you
extent.
trust the police to
investigate?
investigate the police?
We don't trust the
certain
police to
extent,
investigate the police.
What you are
Mitch
saying,
Morrissey on the scene, is that standard
what
procedure
you're
for
asking
the
us to do is
DA to
something
show
that we
up
would
on
not
the
do
crime
in any
scene? Is he trying to get
criminal
all their
investigation,
stories
and that is
straight?
talked
He's
about
trying to
or
get your
released
story
facts.
straight?
If it is a homicide with one
Fuck
person
you.
involving another, we would still not release that information.
Why would you release it, big brother? Do you want to change
There are a
it?
number of things that the law prohibits us from doing, that our ethical obligations prohibit us
Well, I
from
have
doing.
one thing, big brother, and that's
And-
murder.
There was
One thing, that's murder. That's all
was a
that I have
question
on
that
you
was
is
asked.
murder. I don't care who you are, whether you're a police
There
authority
was
or
a
not.
question that was asked back here, and the question was
That's
simple.
normal.
The question was, is it normal for the DA to show up at a crime scene?
Yeah,
It's a
on
good
a lot of
question.
our crime scenes that happens, particularly on police shootings. There are several of us that are on the protocol that we investigate. We go to the scenes of the police shootings, and one of those people has been for a long time and still is, the DA, Mr. Morrissey. And so he went to yesterday's, he had just gotten back in town. And so
To get
yesterday's,
everybody's story straight.
Well, no, if you'll read the protocol, it's in the protocol, the written protocol.
oh yeah, it wasn't, there's nothing, don't read anything into the fact that he went.
was in the protocol.
One thing
It's
that-
important to him, that's why he went.
Sir, one thing that concerns me is that we've been standing here for now over 20 minutes, and I have yet to see you address this young man and his family from a human perspective as a father. As a family member, as a citizen, as a neighbor, as more than just the leads of an investigation. I'm asking you to give a human statement to a human being that's next to you that lost his family.
Look him in his eyes.
We cannot always be,
Look him
in
in
the
his
midst of our
eyes.
grief, perfectly put together and composed. So what we're asking is, can you address this man and look him in the eye as somebody who's mourning the loss of his cousin last night beyond an investigation?
You gotta ask
We're
him to be
asking you as a
human.
human being.
Yeah, if you remember the first thing I said when I came out here, and you told me he was just.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Now don't.
I said, I'm sorry
You
for
ain't
what
sorry
happened.
for it. You ain't
And
sorry
so
for it.
I was rebuked for telling you.
I can tell when
that I was
somebody's
sorry
sorry.
about what happened.
You're sorry for it, then do something about
What's
it.
the best way to?
Yeah.
You're sorry for it?
Yeah.
Do something about it.
Yeah.
Do something about it. Because I guarantee you, if I was out there, you would have done anything to me just like you did to my cousin. Why can't I do something to you, big brother?
Don't turn away from him.
Don't, like they said, don't turn from me. You're right. It's not a meeting. I'm here to get an answer.
You can't look him in the eyes.
He's talking to you. How
It's
hard
not
is
being
that?
productive
It's
anymore.
human. How hard is that?
It's not
You look at him when you
productive
talk to
anymore. I
him.
think
Because
the
they're
meeting
full of
needs to
lies.
continue.
The meeting needs to be canceled. Why? Because you have nothing to say to me? Because you're getting nervous? I believe your palms are getting a little bit sweaty, sir.
Jose,
I
this
try
is
to
an
be
honor,
patient.
Jesse.
Stop cutting him off. Let him talk.
I try to be patient,
Let him
big brother,
talk.
but you're not letting me be patient.
do.
I have to
You do.
stay up. I've been up since 6 in the morning yesterday looking for what happened to my cousin. I have not slept in 24 hours trying to find out what is wrong, and you can't tell me why you shot my cousin? And you thinking that I'm not going to sit here and argue over this. Nobody's going to stop me. Like I told them, big brother, if Martin Luther King's thing has to go on again for Hispanic people, I will gladly do it, and I will be the first to do it. Why? Because I have the right, and I have freedom. I have the right of speech, and in my opinion, your cops ain't shit. Woo! There you go, man.
We'll set up.
Yes,
We'll
ma'am.
set up,
Thank you all. Thanks for coming.
I have one more question. Senator Salazar and Representative Kegar have expressed that there is a cozy relationship, a seemingly cozy relationship between the DA and the police department. And they are seeking to take some of the excessive force cases out of the DA's office and place them with the Attorney General or a special prosecutor. What are your thoughts around this proposed legislation?
I think it's something that the district attorney has been meeting with elected members of the legislature, has been meeting with members of the community. I think it's an issue that we face not only in Denver, but across the nation to address some of these concerns. And my personal thoughts, quite frankly, aren't relevant at this point, but we are very aware of some of the things. I will point out that it would be very difficult for a group like this to come and meet with some appointed agency that might not even be in Denver.
Well, I'd like to give you an invitation to a community meeting that you would pass this on to Mitch Morrissey. There's a meeting of race, justice, and policing that will happen Saturday at Shorter Community AME Church from 11 o'clock until 2. And we would love for the district attorney to perhaps come to the community and share his thoughts and next steps.
He has been to some of these previous meetings.
Can I ask one question before I go? I got one question for you. Excuse me, big brother. Excuse me. Don't smile at me. Come on. Don't smile at me right now.
Get off. Get off. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Leave him alone.
This ain't the way. This is not the way.
This is not the way,
No,
sir.
don't encourage
Don't touch him. We're not
All
gonna
I got is one question for you. All I got is one question. How would you feel if it was your kid? I'm asking. How would you feel if it was your kid?
We don't want the same situation that happened in Ferguson with McCulloch and the police department, for sure.
Indict killer cop!
Was there another question?
Disarm the
I have a
police. We don't want
question,
transparency. We
on
want prosecution.
January 6th, my grandson Sharod Kindell was shot by the police, and the only thing that we've learned from that that situation was that he was stopped for a traffic stop, and he was shot 4 times. We didn't know anything about his injuries or anything. This happened on a Thursday. We didn't know anything until that Monday. And only because we got a hold of everybody we could to find out about it, we still do not know what happened.
First of all, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for your loss.
And he's still alive. He's still alive. He's still alive. He's one of the ones that lived.
Is this the one? This is under investigation still as one of the.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I would like to know why his wounds and things have not been taken care of. He's in the same gown that he was from the hospital. He's in the same gown that he was in when he went over to the infirmary at the jail. And I would like to know what I should do or what we can do to get this. He's not being taken care of.
He needs the proper medical care.
His wounds haven't been taken.
Reach out to the sheriff's department.
Okay.
And find out what they're doing.
They're being rude. They're being very rude to the family.
Text that said he's not even being allowed to have
sheriff's
hands.
department. I can ask the investigators to reach out to the sheriff's department to make sure that when last I heard, he was still at the hospital.
No, he's in the infirmary. He's been in the infirmary.
So I'll reach out to him.
Okay.
I'll reach out to the sheriff when I get back.
Just make sure that he's taken care of. You know,
He needs to go back into the hospital and get proper care. His wounds are not being tended to.
They're not giving him his medications, his dressings.
None of them. I will reach out to the sheriff's department.
Do you have a card, sir? Yeah, how do we contact you so we can call you and
Tell him what Sherry
I want
said this
his
morning.
card.
Tell him what Sherry said to you this morning.
I'll take. Well, basically, we just got a text message today saying that they wouldn't give him any pants to put on, and they made him take a cold shower. Now, mind you, he hasn't taken a shower or washed up since he's been in the hospital, since he was actually taken into custody. There's also been a no contact order on him. So if our cousin would have died, we would not have been contacted. And this was straight from the DPD that told Denver Health not to contact any of his family. There's a problem, sir. There is a disconnect right now that we need to make sure that we're bridging some type of gap to make sure that there is complete and utter contact between what's going on between the police and what's going on with the infirmary and what's going on at Denver Health.
When you say he's in the infirmary, is he a Denver Health infirmary, or is he over at the jail?
He's in the downtown.
All right, let me reach out to the sheriff. When I leave you all, I'll call.
I need your card if you have
I don't have any on me.
She went to the
I was going to get some.